Tank Davis says, I don't want Kambosos' belt. That's all I needed to know.
Push the weight in no flex. Flex the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out. Full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronson on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Well, Tank Davis quoted saying that I don't want George Kambosos' belt. He basically went on to say that he knows, he's referring to Kambosos, of course. He knows that fighting me is a payday. It's a come up. And Tank pretty much said he's not interested. He said, well, you know, he's showboating a little something. Said that he'll beat him up for free. Now, we all know that's just talk. Especially when you're being advised and you're under the tutelage of Floyd Money Mayweather. But basically, he's saying he's not interested. Now, whether he was interested or not, let's say he came back down to 135 for Kambosos, and let's just say he beat him. He beat Kambosos. Now he's unified. Devin Haney beats Jojo Diaz. He still has the WBC championship. Boom, we get Haney versus Tank. That'll be great. But Tank is on record saying he's not interested in George Kambosos. He says Kambosos is interested in him because he knows it's worth money. Now, this also that also would be in the best interest of Lou DiBella. Remember, Lou DiBella said we have other options. We ain't got to go for Devin Haney. We got Ryan Garcia, failed. He said Richard Comey. Where's the money in that? And this is no disrespect to Richard Comey. We got Vasyl Lomachenko. Very high risk. Low reward in comparison to Devin Haney. And especially Tank Davis. So I don't even know why he said those names. I already spoke on that. So Tank is he's not interested, so he says, which is a good thing. For now. So Tank is not, he's now not an option. Vasyl Lomachenko has some work to do. Teofimo Lopez had no rematch clause, which, you know, of course I got to stop here on Teofimo Lopez. We got to remember that the weird thing about all this was there was no rematch clause. The champion went into a defense with no rematch clause, which was strange. And when I told you guys, have it on good word, that Teofimo Sr. told a certain fighter, a retired fighter, that after they defended against Kambosos, the play was to go up and fight Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor already said he wasn't interested. But Teofimo was making a big stink saying, let's go undisputed versus undisputed. All of my goal versus all of your goal. The problem is, Teofimo, you're missing one. Taylor knows that. The boxing world knows that. The WBC knows that. Every other sanctioning body doesn't even recognize that franchise status that you guys invented. So the jig is up. So now Kambosos has it. Remember, he has that franchise status that was not transferable when you first invented it for Canelo Alvarez. All right, let's not forget how this thing came about. All right, so when you refer to Devin Haney as this email champion as a form of disrespect, is it really disrespect? I think it proves Devin Haney's point. Vasyl Lomachenko asked for that status instead of fighting him. He gave up the real belt with a lineage on it rather than fight him. Teofimo Lomachenko fought you because he thought you was a lighter work of the two. And if he was throwing punches from round 1, he beats you. He waited till round 6 to start throwing punches, and it was still a close fight. For you to get back in the good graces of boxing, I'm gonna say it again and again and again. You gotta face Vasily Lomachenko, and you don't win that fight. That's just my opinion. Prove me wrong. You gotta do something. But let's not make this about Teofimo Lopez. I'm just pointing out the facts. Tank Davis is not interested in George Kambosos. Teofimo has no rematch clause. And he said he wasn't interested in Kambosos. Vasily Lomachenko is occupied with, I believe, with Richard Comey. Don't quote me on that. I have to look that up. But I believe so. Richard Comey, there's no money in that. Vasily Lomachenko, that's high risk and low reward. Ryan Garcia, are you serious? He hasn't done anything. No pay-per-views. I don't know if he's sold out, but he has a crap load of teenagers following him on Instagram, and I don't even know if they pay the cable bill in their house. So don't be fooled. The biggest paydays was between Tank and Devin. So now Tank said he's uninterested. This is a good thing because that leads Kambosos more towards Devin Haney. So this is a good thing. So this is what has to happen. In a perfect world, this is what I would like to see. What I'd like to see is George Kambosos move on to fight Devin Haney. But first things first, Devin Haney's fighting this weekend. He must beat Jojo Diaz. That is not an easy task. I repeat, that is not an easy task. Jojo Diaz is not showing up to lay down. He's showing up to win. Devin must win this fight. Then he must fight George Kambosos, and I think he could beat Kambosos. And this is not a shot at George. I respect George. Remember, I said I did not know if he could beat Teofimo Lopez, but you guys know that I was rooting for him. And Teofimo didn't have a bad night. That was Teofimo. George Kambosos is just a better boxer, and he proved to be a better man than Teofimo Lopez. Shout out to George Kambosos Jr. He showed up in my city, in Teofimo's backyard, and put on a clinic. He deserves everything that he's getting right now. Salute to George. Now that you know Tank is not interested, fine. Wait for the winner between Diaz and Devin. Hopefully it's Devin. Then we can get a real undisputed bout. A real one. That will gain Tank Davis interest. Definitely. Y'all know what I'm pulling for. Tank versus Haney, Juneteenth. But everyone has some work to do. By the way, Tank is also fighting this weekend. So are we going to have one up and one down? Are we going to have the guys winning that we want? Or are we going to have two upsets? This is boxing. How crazy would it be? This weekend we're looking at Diaz and Cruz with two upsets. How crazy would that be? But I don't think so. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. Let's go Tank. Let's go Devin. And let's go George Kambosos, who's saying all the right things. And let's see if he does the right thing. The sport is picking up, man. The sport is picking up. All these fighters have to do is stop ducking and keep their word. And we can talk some boxing, not personal feelings. Bronx on deck.